everyone, welcome back to Remarks with Republicans. I'm Colin, and today I'm joined by Todd Elyer. Todd plays an important role in public safety and the justice system in Adams County. Today we're going to talk about his journey, his priorities, and what motivates him to do all that work. Let's get started.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, Yeah. Whoa, yeah.
Remarks with Republicans is starting right now. Can you tell us about your background and what led you to pursue a career in law?
So my background is I'm originally from Camp Point, Illinois, and honestly I wanted to get into the law because when I was young my parents got a divorce and I wanted to know what was going on, and I saw the impact that it could have on people, and I wanted to be able to help people.
What made you decide you wanted to serve specifically as state's attorney?
I honestly, when I went into practice of law, I had no intention of ever working at the state's attorney's office. I was in private practice, and over time I just needed a change, and I helped the previous state's attorney in his election, and he asked me if I wanted to come and work for him, and I said absolutely. So I ended up there, and here I am.
What does public service mean to you personally?
What it means, it's important that we give back to the community. So giving back to the community and working to help keep our community safe is what really matters.
Were there mentors or experiences that shaped how you approach your role today?
Well, as I said earlier, when I was young, my parents got a divorce, and I saw the direct impact that attorneys and the law can have on someone's personal life, and I wanted to help and do that. So that's the biggest experience.
For viewers who may not fully understand the role, what does the state's attorney do for a county on a daily basis?
So we are responsible for prosecuting all of the crime that takes place in our county. That ranges from traffic offenses like a speeding ticket to misdemeanor offenses and or the most serious crimes, which are felonies. So every day we deal with those cases. We also deal with juvenile cases. There's a lot of civil cases that we deal with when we interact with the county board and help them, making sure that the county flows on a smooth, regular basis. But that's every day is different. You never know what you're going to find yourself dealing with on any given day.
What is something people often misunderstand about prosecution or your office?
So I think one thing is people think that prosecutors are just out to get a conviction. They're just out to find somebody guilty, and that's not always the case. We have a lot to take into consideration. We have to consider how prosecuting somebody will affect them and their life, but also keeping in mind that what we do is important to help keep the community safe.
How do you balance protecting the public while also protecting constitutional rights?
Well, it's a fine line sometimes, but it's very important because even defendants have rights, and we have to make sure that we are protecting those. Prosecutors have a unique role because our duty is to seek justice, not seek a conviction. So not only do we have to help protect the innocent and the victims, but we also have to make sure that we follow the Constitution, we follow the law, and we protect the rights of a defendant even though we're trying to find them guilty.
How does your office work with local law enforcement agencies to build strong cases and keep communities safe?
So I believe that we have a great relationship with all of our local law enforcement. We work with them every day on a regular basis. We communicate with them. They communicate with us. Anytime they have a question or need any assistance, we are there to help them in any way that we can, because they're the ones that are putting their lives on the line. They go out every day and have to deal with individuals that they never know what's going to happen. And when they leave home and to go to work, they may not come back home if something really bad happens. So anything that we can do to help them is the minimum that we can do.
Do rural counties face different prosecution challenges than larger metro areas?
Yes and no. Yes, in that we may not have the amounts of severe crime or violent crime that some of the bigger cities have, but we still have it. And we have certain challenges because when we face those situations, we may not have the resources that a bigger community might have.
Are there crime trends you're seeing that concern you right now?
You know, my biggest concern right now is the gun violence that we see going on in our community. And so that's the biggest trend that concerns me and the biggest thing that I'm focused on trying to take into account and affect the best that we can.
How does your office support victims throughout the court process?
So we help them maneuver the minefield that is a case. We will walk them through. We will tell them what to expect in terms of the court appearances, what their rights are. If they need some assistance, counseling or treatment, or even some housing issues, we try to put them in contact with all of the agencies that we have locally to help them any way that we can.
How do you and your staff handle the emotional weight that can come with difficult cases?
So that is a very good question because vicarious emotional issues, we feel that as well. Just like a victim may have vicarious trauma, prosecutors have that as well because we see the effect or the impact that it has on victims, and we see how it tears their lives apart. And we're people too. We're human beings, and it hurts. It hurts us in ways that it may not hurt them, but we see it hurting them, so it affects us. Vicarious trauma is very real and something that everybody involved in the criminal justice system has to make sure that they focus on and deal with because, for example, law enforcement, police officers see problems and fights and scenarios every day, all day, and it's important that they take care of their own personal needs so that they can continue to do the job that they do.
Are there ways your office helps educate the public about laws, scams, or safety issues?
So we try. That's one thing we could probably do more of, but we try to put out press releases and public announcement bulletins to try to keep people informed of scams that are going on in the area and tell them things to keep an eye out for and watch out for. That's something we could probably do better or we need to try to do better, but we do that as much as we can.
How do you ensure your office runs efficiently while still delivering strong prosecution and legal services?
So that's something that we deal with and struggle every day because we're government and there's only so much money there for us to be able to use, and the county can only give us so much money. So it's important that we are as efficient as possible and do as much as we can with as little as we can.
Why is local control important when it comes to prosecution decisions?
So it's important because you're not, we may be dealing with a case, and that same case could be dealt with differently throughout the state, but how that case is dealt with here in our local community and how it impacts the citizens of our community versus somewhere else impacts the way we handle that case.
What are some of the biggest challenges prosecutors face right now?
Honestly, some of the biggest challenges that we face are the lack of attorneys that are going into, just the lack of attorneys in general. For the last couple of years, our office has been understaffed because there's not as many attorneys as there used to be. Beyond that, the biggest hurdle that we have is just the number of cases with fewer people to be able to prosecute.
How has the legal system changed during your career?
So, I don't know that the legal system has changed as much as I guess I take that back. Probably the biggest change would be, at least in the state of Illinois, how our legislatures are passing laws that make it harder for us to do our job. They're passing laws that hand down less severe punishment on criminals, and they're taking away the deterrent factor for individuals committing crimes. And so therefore, people have no reason not to commit a crime if they don't think the punishment's going to be that severe. So that would be the biggest change that we face as prosecutors, is the legislature and their minimizing crimes.
What should residents expect or be aware of looking forward?
So the number one thing that I think residents should be aware of and should I would ask them to do is if they see something, they should say something. They should be aware of their surroundings. They should be willing to help their neighbors. They should be willing to help their community. And it's important that if they see something that is out of the ordinary, that they call and report it. Even if it ends up being nothing, if they do nothing and it does end up being something, then nobody will ever know about it, and that person will get away with that crime.
What advice would you give to students who are interested in law or public service?
So the best advice that I would give them is to just study hard, learn how to sometimes think outside the box, use reasoning, use logic, and just, their dedication and determination to a goal is the biggest thing that would help anybody that wants to go into this field.
What qualities make someone successful in public service?
So, as a public servant, one of the qualities certainly is if you are wanting to give back, if you're wanting to help your community, not just collect a paycheck. Honestly, if attorneys are in private practice, they can make a lot more money than if you're in government. Or if you work for a government agency. So you have to be able to want to make your community better. You have to be able to or want to give back. But you also have to be dedicated and you have to be committed to a goal. So, and that's not just in the legal field. That's with anything anybody does, no matter what. As long as you have a goal, as long as you work hard, and as long as you are dedicated, that's what you should focus on.
Coffee or soda?
Soda. Mountain Dew.
All right. Early mornings or late nights?
Both.
Courtroom or office prep?
I'm assuming you're asking which I prefer.
Yeah.
Well, you can't be good in the courtroom if you're not prepared and you're not prepped. So I was in Boy Scouts, so the motto, be prepared. I'll have to go with that.
Favorite thing about serving Adams County?
Seeing the benefit that citizens in the community and the community in general receive, and also the satisfaction or the gratification you get when people thank you for the efforts that you put in, and knowing that people care and are appreciative of what you're doing for them, that's very satisfying.
One word that describes public service.
Well, I want to say two words, community oriented, but if you want one word, I'll just go with dedication. How's that?
If you were in law, what would you be doing?
I'd be selling real estate. I like real estate. I like the real estate market, and that's what I'd be doing if I weren't in law.
Thanks for speaking with me.
Oh, thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks.